Hey guys, welcome back. Bruce here. I shot this footage Monday morning. I woke up, I was half asleep, hadn't had my coffee yet, but I wanted breakfast, so I decided to make myself some sausage gravy and biscuits, which I love. I forgot to shoot an intro, so this is what you get. I'm putting it together today, and I realized there's no intro here, and I didn't feel like getting all dressed up. So I'm just gonna let you know, hey, here's a nice, easy way to make sausage biscuits and gravy. I know a lot of people are gonna already know how to make it, but that's cool too. I figured I'd throw this up there. If you're interested, hey, great. Give me a like, share, comment, subscribe. Have any questions? I'm always taking requests for other things to throw up on here because this is cooking season for me. And I'd like to share what I make with you if you're interested in learning. So here you go.
The ingredients for this is very easy. All you need is some milk, pepper, a half cup of butter, half a cup of flour, and some sausage. Now the sausage is important. You want to make sure to pick a breakfast sausage. In this case, I have the sausage patties. You can get the tubes of sausage that they have at the grocery store. Just get straight breakfast sausage. You don't want to get maple sausage or any flavored sausage. It just won't taste right. The right way to do it is to use breakfast sausage. Now you see I have the patties and they're still a little frozen. That's why I get the patties. A lot of times, spur of the moment, I decide to make this. I'll pull them out of the freezer and the patties can cook up way quicker than a big log of sausage. But these patties add up to one of the 1 pound logs of sausage. So basically it's up to you. Just try to stay away from the flavored ones. And let's go on, I'll show you how to cook this. So we're going to start off on a medium to high heat here. We're going to cook up our sausage first. I've already put the sausage in the pan. I'm using a copper chef pan tonight. If you've ever seen those advertised, I saw them on TV. My father-in-law actually turned me on to them. And they work really well. This is the Dutch oven version. This can go straight from the stove to the oven if you want to. We're not going to do that today though. So I got my sausage in there, and I'm going to dust it a little bit with pepper. Pepper is, in my mind, pepper is the best flavor for this. For the final gravy, you want to have that pepper tone. Some people like to use sage. I'm not a sage fan. So what we're going to do is we're going to break all this meat up, brown it, and cook it. And like I said, they're a little frozen, which is okay. They'll cook up just the same. Now this particular brand of sausage I bought doesn't have a lot of fat in it. For this purpose, I kind of wish it did have more fat in it, because the more fat that the sausage has in it, the better the gravy you're going to make, the more flavorful it's going to be. Okay, it's been about 4 minutes. And keep in mind, this was frozen when I started cooking it, and I'm about 2/3 of the way done cooking it. Give it another minute or two. Okay, that's about good right there. We're almost cooked the whole way through. And like I said, I like to use pepper. I'm going to add a little more pepper. Always pepper to taste, because you never know what you're going to get as far as potency of your pepper. Now I'm going to throw in my half a cup of butter. And we're going to melt that all down in there. This is what's going to give my gravy the body, because like I said, this particular sausage doesn't have a lot of fat. In fact, I may have to add more butter than what I'm calling for. It's the thing about cooking, you never know what it's going to taste like until you're done. So we're going to melt that butter. I've been stirring this for about a minute. I skipped through a little bit, but as you can see, the butter is melting and it's making all the pieces of meat nice and saturated with the butter and the regular sausage grease that I did manage to pull out of there. As soon as that butter finishes melting, that's when you add your half a cup of flour. A good rule of thumb, however much butter, you can put more butter in there if you want, but match it with your flour, because this flour is what's going to thicken it up in the end. And we're going to cook that. We're going to stir this around, get everything coated with the flour, and now we're cooking that to get the flour cooked so it's not such a floury taste whenever we go. And you'll notice when you're doing this, when the flour is done, it'll turn kind of a golden brown color, and it's going to smell, for lack of a better term, and I hate this term, but it's accurate, it's going to smell kind of like nuts, like a nutty aroma. Every time I think of nutty, I think of Austin Powers. And, well, if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. But you'll see now I have a paste of meat here. It's thickened up. Makes a paste. I'm just going to cook this for another 30 seconds. And you see this, this is why I love this pan. Look at that, nothing's sticking to it. So I got my pasted meat. Now's when I'm going to lower the heat. I'm going to go down to about between low and medium on a gas stove. Now, milk, I didn't tell you an exact measurement of milk. It all depends how much meat you have at the end, because it'll shrink a little bit. I like to take my milk and just cover the meat with it till it just goes on top of there, till it just goes on top of the last piece. Now we're going to let that heat up, but this is important. Do not boil it. You don't want to boil milk ever. So we're going to stir that. We're going to let that heat up. Okay, it's been a couple minutes now. See, it's starting to warm up. I did add a little more pepper off camera. There's no exact measurement. It's basically what you want to taste. But you'll see that the milk is getting a little darker. And that beet means my biscuits are done. Yeah, we got biscuits with this too. So, still going to keep stirring as much as possible. With this type of a pan though, I'm not worried about it scorching. That's why I like this pan so much. Nothing sticks to the bottom. I usually use the cast iron skillet for this, but I felt like using this one today. Easier clean up. Like I said, the whole idea was supposed to be how to make this the quick and easy way. Because most of the time when you feel like making it, you just got out of bed, just like me today. You really don't want a full round, but you want to make something nice for your family. And this is a great breakfast if you've ever had it at a Cracker Barrel or whatever y'all have out where you live. I learned to cook this from a girl I met down south. I probably said that in the intro, which I haven't done yet. So we're going to pause this and let it heat up just a little bit more. Alright, it's been a couple more minutes. It's thickened up nicely. You can see that milk has turned a nice off-white. And it's just pretty much done now. You see, it's thickened up nice. I've lowered the heat more because as far as I'm concerned, this is done. And as you can see in the last break, I took the biscuits out. Look at those biscuits. I wish I could say I made them myself, but they came from a pop tube. Yeah, I'm not a baker. My wife is. Someday, I'm going to learn how to make biscuits, and we'll do a proper recipe for that too. But anyway, that's it. And I'll show you what the final product looks like here when I have my breakfast. And there is our final product. Sausage, gravy, and biscuits. Quick and easy for you. Anyway, I hope you try it. I'm going to have my breakfast now.